Hey, welcome to another episode of Ask a Photo Pro. Today we are talking about getting better on camera and why you actually need to. Being in front of the camera, it's an essential skill. It's something that every photographer that I know hates doing. You hate being in front of the camera, yes or yes. It's not something that you're ever wanting to do. You want to be behind the camera. You want to be in control. But being in front of the camera, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your business. It's going to change your career for the better. Being shy is okay, by the way. It's okay to be shy. We're all shy. That's why we're photographers. We're shy because we notice things, or we notice things because we're shy. Being the quiet, reserved observer is what made us creative people. It's what made us photographers. So shy people notice things, but also shy people can do incredible things. Shy people are the most genius, brilliant people in the world. Shy people. But talking to camera as a shy person, as a photographer, you understand it's your job to convince other people to be in front of your camera, and you're asking them to do the thing that you refuse to do, which is being in front of the camera. Do you understand? In order to be an incredible portrait photographer, you also have to be a great sitter, meaning you have to know what it feels like to be in front of the camera, to see how long that photographer is taking to actually get this shot. It's important for you to feel both sides of the spectrum, especially if you're a people photographer. If you're not a person photographer, and you're just trying to get more comfortable on camera as far as being able to deliver presentations,
Yes or yes?
be on Zoom chats, talk to clients, talk to strangers, ask strangers for portraits. There's so many different reasons why being on camera, like I'm doing right now, again, I'm in a room by myself and I pretend that I'm speaking to one person. And even if I know that at some point there's 100 people watching me, I speak to one person. So that's the first thing that you need to know what to think about when you're talking on camera. The second thing is you have to pretend that there is no camera. Forget about the fact that you're actually talking to a camera there, and I have a camera here, and I have a camera behind me that's like showing my whole setup. Talking to camera, you have to pretend and maneuver as if there is no camera. You have to get out of your head. And when you're looking at a camera, you're not actually looking at the camera at all. You're looking through the camera at the person who's looking at you. So when you're making video content and you make eye contact with the camera, it's so much more powerful than when you're trying to make a video and you're looking over here while you're talking, or you're looking over here while you're talking. Sometimes I have notes. So, all the time I have notes. So I do have to refer to my notes, but understand they have to get out of your head. Having an idea, having something to talk about, having something to rant about, that's the quickest way for you to get out of your head. That's how you get out of your head, is you have something to talk about. So being in front of the camera, you stress so much about being the person in front of the camera, but you also have to film yourself. And you're worrying about what? You're worrying about how the person who is seeing the video perceives you. And the only reason that that's the case is because you're locked in your head about how you perceive yourself. If you don't perceive yourself in a high light, obviously you're not going to put yourself on camera. As soon as you see yourself on a better light and feel like you have value to bring to someone, something to teach someone, something to tell somebody, as soon as that happens, you can't wait to get on camera to share. When you shoot self-portraits, you're alone. When you're sitting in front of the camera, but because if it's a photograph, some people don't even do that. Some people don't even come to the point where they're ready to take a self-portrait, which is why I give you self-portrait exercises. It's because it's leading you up to getting better on camera and getting better at speaking to a camera. Once you get comfortable at speaking to a camera, you can actually get comfortable speaking to clients, potential clients. Communication is all we have. And make one video, put it out there, and that video speaks for you while you're over here doing something else. So video is actually a weapon, and it's an incredibly useful marketing tool. When you speak to camera, you're alone. I'm alone right now in my place. And I promise you, the hardest part about this entire thing is your mindset, getting out of your head. As soon as you get out of your head and stop caring, like you literally have to give zero cares about what people think. Love yourself and you'll so much be ready to be on camera. And you have to find inspiration. You have to find other creators who are just like you, who are new on camera. Watch my first videos. Oh my God. Watch my first podcast. Watch my first videos. And I'm sure you're not every single one of you trying to be a YouTuber, although you should have a YouTube channel. And I'm sure you're not thrilled, not only based on my views, if you're a viewer, you're not even thrilled about the fact that I'm looking at my viewers' videos. Because the views when I'm looking at photos versus when I'm looking at videos, way lower. But I don't care. Because I don't do this for the views. I do this to help people. So I promise this is going to help you. If you actually do this, understand that all your barriers to speaking to camera are internal. They're all you. Most of them are obstacles in your head. They're past trauma from your childhood, grade 7 or 7th grade if you're in America. Public speaking experiences where you were like, oh, I have to speak to the whole school. Those kinds of experiences traumatize us and make it hard for us to actually use video or be on camera or do public speaking. Do you understand? Being on camera makes you an absolute wizard at public speaking. I'm insanely good at public speaking, and it's because I've done the reps. And funny enough, I got good at public speaking before I got good at being on camera. So one hand washes the other. Self-portraits, they're hard, but they're very simple. It's very simple. As soon as you forget that there's a camera there and you actually do it with intention. Talking to camera is very simple, but it's super hard. If that makes any sense. It's super simple, but it's hard. Because the hard part is you have to get out of your head. You have to get out of your head in order to make it simple. Same process as doing a self-portrait, but you have to get out of your head more when you're being on video. So there's some big benefits that come from speaking on camera. Number one, it conveys confidence. It conveys authority, and it builds trust. We all do FaceTime meetings. We all do Zooms, Skype calls with people that we know. We're never nervous talking on camera, on FaceTime, to somebody that we know. Never. But we are nervous about being on camera when we don't know who's on the other end. You understand how preposterous that is? Just pretend who you're talking to is somebody that you know. Just pretend that the camera is you talking to an old friend. As soon as you do that, turn the camera into an old friend. Oh my God. Now this podcast becomes so much more fun to do because every time I'm looking at a camera, I'm talking to an old friend. So this is why when you watch my content, you feel like I'm speaking directly to you because I am. You're my old friend. We just haven't met in person. So that's a skill that I had to learn. I used to say things like, you guys and everybody and like welcome and like I'm talking to a group. No, you talk to one person. You talk to one person. And even if you have 1 million people watching the video, Now you're going to have 1 million people thinking that you're talking just to them. When I figured that out, my content, my videos, everything, my communication, everything became better. We have to train ourselves to speak with the same comfort level when we're speaking to somebody that knows us as we do when we're speaking to somebody that doesn't. It's incredibly difficult, but we have to train ourselves to speak with the same comfort to strangers that we speak to our good friends with. That's something that's really difficult because oftentimes we change and put on different masks for whoever we're with. For me, I don't wear any masks, so it becomes really easy for me to be genuine on camera or genuine on Zoom or genuine in person, you know? So if you find the talking to camera part daunting, start with writing down what you'd like to say. I'd like to introduce myself. So make a little note. Introduce yourself. Hey, Carty, professional photographer, been doing this for 33 years. I'm here to help you, the emerging photographer, get to the next level with your photography, whatever that level is. Write down what you want to say. Make notes of what you want to say. You can also use, if you're using your phone, there's a teleprompter app. So download there's so many teleprompter apps. Get a teleprompter app like this. Put in your script. And then it just looks like this. It looks like this. And you push record and it goes like this. My script's in there. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it is a mindset for amateurs. I don't feel like it is a tragically common phrase for people who are students, people who are in creative fields, and yes, you, the photographer. It really is something that limits your potential and your productivity. When you're trying to get things done, here's the thing about I don't feel like it. When you say you don't feel like it, it doesn't change what you can actually do next. It actually does nothing to limit your decisions going forward. So when you say you don't feel like it, you're just giving yourself an excuse to not do the work that you know you need to do. So do you understand? That's a script that I put here on my prompter. And then it just gives you, hello, focus. It just gives you that. And now I have the whole thing. And as I'm speaking, look, the words are right there. So everything that I'm saying is just right here. So if you're not sure what you want to say, download a teleprompter app. Want to use the phone horizontal? Turn it this way and the whole thing just flips. Doesn't matter. Horizontal, vertical. Set the eye line to be where the camera is so you're looking at the camera, and just use the teleprompter if you're not easy or comfortable winging it. So there's assisting that we can get while we're doing this. There's tools that we can get, all kinds of tools. And when you see my setup for when I'm shooting a video, let's see if I can find a picture. Here's my setup for when I'm shooting a video. So you can see teleprompter, huge 23-inch monitor, and everything connected to one stand. And that stands right behind me. So let's talk about how I set up and prepare myself to speak to camera. I grabbed this rolly stand. I lowered the light. I bought this, which is absolutely insane. Let me break it down for you. First of all, super clamp. Super clamp is super important. You got to have one of those. This is a super clamp. This clamps on to the light stand. Super clamp. Next thing is you need this thing. This is all available on Amazon, by the way, or a better camera store, finer camera stores. Buy this. This is an unbreakable piece of steel, aluminum. This, So this plugs into this like that. Screw this in. And how did I learn this? I learned this on YouTube from Think Media. Good friend Omar. Omar and I text back and forth. Omar's a good dude. I learned a lot from Omar. This is why you watch content creators. So now, tripod head. Put the tripod head on. Get this nice and tight. Then go like this. Lock that on. Attach my camera. Angle the light. Attach the camera there. Sit in front of the camera. And look, it's all one stand. Everything right here. All ready to go. And it's on wheels. So once you're in the situation where you're able to actually, you really wrap your head, I'm doing this. Once you're in that headspace, you need to get the right stuff. And you can see, like, I don't buy anything that's not genius. I buy and I research, like, let's make it so making videos is so easy. So that's the first thing, is I set up my equipment. The next thing you do is you craft your message. You write what it is that you want to say. And also, you say it, you read it, you like literally, and if you want to actually have it on your phone, you can read a sentence, read another sentence, and then deliver the sentence, deliver the second sentence. Okay, I got it. And then deliver the next line, and then deliver the next line. And then just put it together and take out the pauses. That's another way that people do it. Like crafting your message, like what you're going to say. That's something that is super important, and you can do it. You can completely do it. Here's another way that people do it. They do an interview style, like have your girlfriend, your wife, your partner, your husband off camera asking you a question. And then you're looking at camera and you're like, okay, babe, ask me. It's like, when did you start photography? And then you're like, well, I started when I was 7. It's like, no. You have to include the question in your answer. So then husband says, when did you start photography? And then you're like, hey, I'm Claire. I started photography when I was 27, which is really only a year ago. I've only been in this for a year. But so now they've cued you a question that you know you have the natural answer for, and you're talking to a friend. Your camera is just a friend that you've known forever. So that's how you craft your message. And then you practice. And then you practice. And then you practice. And then you practice. How do you deliver your message? Well, you need eye contact. Eye contact is so important. And you'll notice that I'm constantly looking at the camera. It's something that's super important because eye contact, as I said earlier, it connects you with your viewer. So also, look at how close I am right now. So right now, I'm actually too close. This is too close, but I'm speaking at a lower volume because now the closeness that I am on the camera makes it feel like I'm telling you a secret, right? Because I'm within the like intimate, I'm too close. I'm actually uncomfortably close. So can't stay there for too long. So you see when I punch in, I'll make a point and then I pull back because arm's length is the distance from the camera. Arm's length, because that's how far we are when we're speaking to somebody that we're getting to know, but we're not intimate with yet. So you can see where the crop is. My crop is right here, which is exactly what you see. And you notice this camera, it's the same crop and it's the same arm's length away because this camera is giving you that same attachment. So practicing. Also, eye contact. Eye contact. The fact that I have two cameras, sometimes I talk to this camera, but because you guys know I have this camera and you know I'm talking to this camera, when I'm speaking to this camera and I switch cameras, seeing that camera now, because you know that I'm talking to this camera, it now feels like you're listening in on like an intimate conversation. So all of this in camera position and all this stuff is very is very thought out. Like none of this that you see is by accident. Nothing that you see here is by accident. Notice also my posture. Notice my posture. Notice my chair. Notice you don't see me. I'm not down like this. I'm very up. So my posture is up, and I sit up in my chair when I'm talking and when I'm delivering. I don't sit back ever. So my posture, it also speaks to like I'm commanding attention. So you can also see it's very intentional. Also, my body language, my gestures, how I use my hands. You notice every video, you see I use my hands. It's because this is non-verbal communication. So if I suddenly So nonverbal communication, even without the words, watch this. How many times have you seen me speak to you like this? Hey guys, it's Carty. Welcome. Thanks for coming out. I can't actually even do it because I've trained myself when I'm communicating with people to use my hands. So you can see how this is painful. Like I'm actually doing this so I don't use my hands. But you can see just watching me how painful it is to listen to me speak when I'm not using my hands. Here's another thing. How many times have you seen me pick up this today and talk and explain with this? How many times have I done this or pointed or talked? Because I'm actually using a prop. And when you're talking to camera, having a prop or having something that you're talking about makes it really easy for you to actually deliver information. When I'm talking about something and I'm like, you understand when you're shooting and you're holding your camera and you're looking through, like when I'm saying you're holding your camera and you're holding it and you're looking through and I'm saying the words of the things that I'm doing with the prop that you use when you're taking the camera, it's actually part of being good on camera. It's actually part of this whole system of being good on camera is actually knowing how to and when to use a prop and when to be like, you know what, when you're holding your camera, right? It's like, holy shit. Like you see people, sometimes they hold their camera and they're all awkward. Like you can't be talking like this and being like you know what I mean? When you see people and they're holding their camera and they're like all awkward, it's like, where's the camera that you're talking about? So using a prop is a great way to hold people's attention. So you see me do this in my podcast. You see me do it all the time. How often do you see me reach back there and grab my camera or reach and talk about this like this is my camera? Also, because if I don't have my R5 there, I'll just grab whatever camera it is and I'll say, you know, when you have your camera and then the fact that I have a Brownie, now that sparks conversation because you want to ask me about this, although I'm talking to you about something else. So using props holds people's attention. You'll also notice my inflection. The more I make videos, the more I make inflection, and you'll notice that I pause. And you'll notice that I use certain in points and end points. And I also say this, and then I say this. So there's a pause that I draw you from one sense to the other. There's an inflection that I bring you from one sense to the other, and there's also pacing. You see that I speak to you a certain way when I need you to be getting information super quickly. Like when I'm talking about something or when I'm doing a photo review, and then this, and then over this, and this is a third under, and this, you're dropping your horizon line right on the side, and you're aiming too low. Like I'm just hitting you with information because I'm also trying to stimulate you, and I know that you can absorb the information as fast as I can deliver it. That, sometimes. Other times, like that pause right there, I said other times, and then now I'm telling you that other time. So me just pausing, it's now giving you the time to cross over, and now I'm delivering you the other inflection and my other point. And I'm also now over here, right? Where before I was over here when I was talking about this point. So these are things that is learned behavior. And I actually learned how to do all of this. Pausing. Pausing is, it's so effective, especially when you're on camera, especially if you're in a Zoom meeting. And training yourself to pause when you're negotiating, when you're talking about what's your budget, and just letting it sit and not like, oh, but I mean, if you don't want to talk about that right now, it's like, no. Talking to camera trains you how to be like an assassin in negotiations. I'm an assassin in negotiations, an assassin. I'm telling you, it's so fun because now I trained myself. Now I'm just good. You know what I mean? I'm just good at that stuff. So I was so bad before. You also have to edit your performance. You're not going to get it the first take. You're not going to get it in one take. And the whole point of video editing is you take, oh, that was a great take. Now let me record it again. And then you watch both and you're like, oh, that was a better one. And then you use that take and you ditch the other one. Like, that's the whole point. You have to edit your performance and you have to review your performance, or you record 100 times, 1,000 times, thinking that you're going to get a perfect take from front to back. No one gets a perfect take front to back. If you watch my videos, like I record for 20 minutes for a 5-minute video, but I just keep doing it over and over and over and over again, and I just fix it in the edit. So you have to edit, review, and edit your performance. And understand that getting better at talking to camera is going to give you the confidence to talk to strangers. It's going to give you the practice necessary to speak about your creativity, talk about your understanding. Like, it gives you time to pause, and being on camera works hand in hand with you writing more and expressing yourself through words about your photography when you write about it. And then the thing that you write, you could actually use as part of what you're using in making your video for Secret Time. So know that being on camera helps you deliver everything that you're trying to say to anybody, anytime, any place, in a confident and comfortable way. Whether you're on set, whether you're in a pitch, whether you're showing your portfolio, having the confidence in those situations only increases if you practice. And it's like, how do you practice? You practice solo on camera. And again, I'm not asking you to be a newscaster. I'm not asking you to be Ted Koppel. I'm just asking you to put yourself outside your comfort zone. Widen your barriers. Just widen your barriers and say something. When you're recording yourself, when you're recording yourself, when you're recording yourself, ask yourself, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say here? And just get to that point with the simplest steps possible. And then add another point. Understand, our early talking experiences on camera are going to be cringe. Early experiences, your early vibes on camera are going to be so bad. Like, I can't even express to you how bad they'll be. But just to show you that you can actually get better at this, just to show you
a little bit about cameras and lenses. I get asked a lot what I shoot with, so I figured here, let's talk about equipment, let's talk about gear, and let's talk about Canon, Hasselblad, and Apple iPhones, because that's the three main things that I shoot. So, first, Canon 7D, which is the camera that I do all my professional work with. It's my camera of choice. I've been shooting with the Canon 7D since probably January.
So do you understand, we all start from somewhere. This is an 11-minute video
to get the 1.2, but it's an L series.
This is a video from 12 years ago. 12 years ago. And understand, like, it's before I had my $1 million smile. installed. So see how different I look? Smile? Had my smile fixed? Big difference, right? And again, it's like you see the enthusiasm, just body language, no eye contact with the camera. So many mistakes. No hand gestures. I mean, I was using props, but I just did it. I just did it, and I didn't know what I didn't know, but I did it anyways. And that's the thing that you have to do, is even if you don't know exactly, and again, later on if you stay a little bit more, know that if we don't keep at it, if we don't keep practicing, you're going to stay uncomfortable forever. You're always going to be uncomfortable. You'll always be bad with clients. You'll always be awkward, nervous, stumbling on your words. You have to remember, we all start from the beginning with anything that we do. Getting over that hump, it's like, it's going to help you with so many things, from being on camera behind the scenes to speaking to clients to making your own videos. Like, it's the most important thing that you could do right now is put yourself on camera. And because I asked, and because I've gone through my own my own vibe of getting good on camera, I decided that I would help. And I made a 30-day on-camera challenge. And this on-camera challenge, it's you can find it on the Carty Method website. This on-camera challenge, basically in 30 days, will take you from an awkward person on camera to a full transformation. So if you want to learn more about my 30-day on-camera challenge, I'm going to link it in the show notes. I'll pin a comment and talk about speaking to strangers, directing subjects, speaking to new clients, dealing with existing clients, moving on to conducting workshops, doing training, improving your social media presence, your public speaking, virtual meetings, webinars, client interviews, customer service and support, your personal branding, negotiations. There's so many reasons why being on camera is super important. So again, I made a course. It costs $30. It's an email course. It's $1 a day. For $1 a day, you too could get better on camera, and every day you improve. It's kind of a cool thing. I've been sitting on it, no lie, for probably 3 months. I needed the right delivery system. I have the right delivery system now, so you guys can jump on it. You can see the link in the show notes. You guys have any questions about how, or do you want to talk a little bit with me about what you're struggling about? What is holding you back from being on camera? You know, last week I gave you an assignment, and last week I looked at the first half of those assignments, which was record 2 minutes of you on camera, telling me where you are and where you're going to be. You understand, like, only 20 people submitted out of the, like, when I asked people to submit photos, 40 people submit photos. Everyone wants to be a photographer because it's easy. Like, it's not easy. Taking pictures is easy, by the way. Taking pictures. Like, I taught my son how to take pictures with my pro camera when he was 4. So, you know, there's nothing to brag about being able to, like, point your camera at something that you see and snap it. Coming up with an idea and then executing that idea, lighting it, like that's making photos. Taking photos, you're taking photos, you're competing with people who have these, and everyone has one of those. So it's important to shift your mindset from taking photos to making photos. But also, it's important for you to shift your mindset from being a shy observer wallflower to being an alpha on camera, comfortable, able to just drop knowledge, drop dimes, drop science like you might find I do for you. But understand, this is learned behavior. I learned how to do this. And the reason that I'm so good on camera is because I've been doing this particular thing for 3 years. So being live on camera, making podcasts, no edits. When I push stop, that's it. That's the podcast. It's done. It's out there. And that's what we talked about. Getting to that point where people are watching my podcast after, people are watching my live streams after, where I'm essentially creating an entire live show on camera, doing it the whole time. You can do that because I did that before I did videos. I did that before I was comfortable enough to do videos. I thought live was easier and more forgiving. I'm live here. Give me a break. I'm live. You know, more forgiving than being on video. Things to think about. Guys, I hope today brought you value. A little bit of a short episode because, you know, we got all kinds of vibes. Morgan said he didn't submit his assignment because he folded due to pressure, wanting perfection after 30 attempts. You see what I'm saying? There is no perfection. There's none. You don't actually get to have anything perfect. You're insane thinking that you're going to be at my level the first time you record something. You're absolutely ludicrous to think that that's the case. With photography, you shoot more than one frame, right? You shoot, and then you pick the best pictures, and then you assemble them and show them on your website, right? With video, you film video. You pick the best sections, you assemble it into a video, and you deliver that product. You're trying to just record front to back and think that every inflection, every point, everything you're going to hit 100%. And in fact, because you didn't just download the teleprompter app on your phone, download CapCut, which is free for your desktop, and just film a bunch of takes, and then take the takes, open up CapCut, and then just assemble it into one simple video. Again, I asked you to do something. I didn't tell you how to do it, but I asked you to do something. I'm gonna assume that each time I ask you to do something, you'll realize that this is assignment photography. This is your life. Like I'm gonna tell you at times the exact thing to do and the exact way to do it, but there are resources, there are tools out there. Why do my videos look so good? Light. I didn't even talk about light. Look at my light. Look, I have an accent light over there that's making that area pink. I have another one over there that's making that area pink. Guess what? The pink is my branding. So you see the names down here are also pink. And then when I switch to this camera, you see this light is actually like lighting me. And this light back there that I just moved is the light that like lights the top of my dome. So it's like light, exposure. Bring up the exposure, and the exposure on me is perfect. The exposure back there is darker. So you can see the scene back there is darker than the light on me, which makes me pop from the pink background. Everything is deliberate, and you can create shots like this, having a side shot. So you can look at me this way while I'm working, you know, which is also one of those things where it's a great start for a video. Like I'm like, hey, how's it going? It's Carty. Welcome. Which I do often. You see me and I'm here. Like I'm doing something. I push the live button and then I go, hey, welcome. So you just have to practice. Don't get overwhelmed. You have to practice. Download or sign up for my $1 a day email course. In 30 days, you will be as good as me, if not better, than I am on camera. The thing that I'm practicing more is just recording videos on my phone while I'm walking around, recording shorts on my phone. I have a thought, just making a video like that. Because for me, I'm all about the prep. I'm all about the setup. I'm all about just being ready to deliver exactly what I want to deliver. I do live. So I do this, but I make so many notes. I always have notes. So I'm just trying to get this vibe of translating it so I could make videos out and about and still have them along the lines of the scripts that I want to say. So guys, I hope today brought you value. Know that the hardest thing is setting your tripod up, blah, 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 setting your camera, what you want to say, and pushing play on that camera and just recording. Like, you just have to press record and do it. But you got to do it every day. And this is why I invented this 30-day challenge. I hope you guys try it. See, I'm glitching, you see? But it's live, so who cares? We all make mistakes, you see? It's like, but that's the thing. I make mistakes, but I don't care because I love myself. And I know that I forgive myself. And I know that because I love myself and I forgive myself, if I make a mistake on camera, you guys are going to forgive me. The universe is going to forgive me because I'm doing my best. I'm not worried about you judging me. I'm just worried about being the best person that I can be and sharing the most valuable information that I can share with you. I know that if I just try my best and show up for you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday live with notes, with preparation, and with big value to give you, I know that you're not going to break my nuts if I mess up a word. So have that same kind of confidence. Be excited about what you want to talk about. Be excited about the value that you're bringing to people, and you're going to kill it. If you are a member of this stream and you became a member within the last 25 people, you're going to see your name scrolling across the top of the screen. And of course, subscriber gang, the last 25, you're going to see yourself scrolling across the bottom. Please consider visiting the Carty method. Please consider using one of the various tools that I've created to make your photography life more lucrative, more seamless, and more profitable. I love you all. Thanks so much for watching.